So he's just an incredible person, and he's a friend of mine, and he's a nice person too. He's a very nice person. He really helped the country, saved us a lot of money. I also...
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the shocking story of Elon Musk is praised by Donald Trump as an amazingly smart and genuinely amazing someone who is making a difference in the world with courage and intelligence. Well, first, I can't say enough good things about anyone would agree that he is an amazing man. He is an amazing man with a lot of intelligence. I've witnessed him with his family. I've witnessed him with numerous of his kids. He takes care of his many children. He loves him and treats him well. Children, but he's a smart individual, and he was of great assistance in the campaign, as well as in his actions with Doge. You are aware that we are conversing about $200 billion and growing quick, since a lot of the things now being discovered that we were looking at to be true according to Trump. Elon Musk was extremely unjustly treated by the public despite his enormous contributions and revolutionary accomplishments. It's awful. That is, the waste, the fraud, mistreat, everything that has occurred is simply awful, and I am aware of it as well. He had extremely unjust treatment from the I suppose some people would refer to it as the public. He makes use of the public, but not all of it. Everything is made possible by an amazing automobile. Does well, but they vented their frustration on the Tesla. Trump thought that the public's perception of Elon was incredibly unjust, particularly because Elon is really attempting to assist the nation, and he conveyed sincere optimism that Elon is doing well. And I simply felt that it was so unjust. Because he is attempting to assist the nation. However, he has benefited the nation, and I desire him to confirm that he will be in excellent health, and I'm sure he is. Implying that he will be and do fantastic. He adores the nation. He completed this task, and I told him, when you're ready, I want to hold on to him for a long time. But he's available anytime you're ready. Outstanding man. When you see those rockets ascend, return, and land, and no one else is able to do that using the same gantry. However, this man is simply amazing person, and he's one of my friends, and additionally, he is a very lovely person. Somebody who significantly aided the nation and saved us a significant amount of money, and I heard he stated that he would begin to ease, which is he was always going at this moment to relax, and, when he returns to that will be handled by Tesla. But these were sick, and it's artificial. Those who believe they were doing anything. He's a lovely guy, actually. Patriot, and he ought to, in fact, well, it shouldn't be the case. Ought not to have occurred to him, and additionally, I'll tell you immediately that he makes a fantastic product. He produces a fantastic product. It is an excellent vehicle. Starlink is excellent at what he does. He is performing medical procedures that are fantastic, and we expect him to do that, so let him go. To be doing it at this moment, although I'm going to discuss it with Elon. I appreciate you asking. According to Elon Musk, the DOG team is centered on reducing waste and identifying fraud and simplifying antiquated systems. Various government agencies, each having the aim of saving billions of dollars for taxpayers without increasing the amount of bureaucracy. Elon, if you could stand up and clarify how you're doing, where you are, and how we're cutting a lot, and it's a privilege to have you. He has been incredibly the successful man is working hard, thus difficult, and he has companies to manage, and they say, in many ways, how do you do this? And you're aware that he's giving up a lot, and you're receiving a lot of compliments. He's also being hit, I'll tell you. And we would anticipate that, as well as it operates that manner. Thus would you kindly ask Elon Musk to speak briefly? Thank you, Mr. Well, I guess I should simply call me this as humble tech support, as this is actually, that is just as insane as it sounds. It's practically a description of the work being done by the Doge team is assisting with the government computers repair. A large number of these systems are they're so elderly that they don't talk. There are numerous errors in the systems. The software isn't functioning. Possess a wide range of hateful traits. Elon really gave me a call and said, you understand that they're attempting to split us up. Absolutely. I said, but they responded, we have breaking information about Donald Trump removed Elon from office as president. President Musk is scheduled to attend a cabinet meeting at 8 p.m. tonight. And I state, it's clear that they're terrible. I once believed they were skilled at it. Actually, they're not very good at it, since if I'd never be as good at it as they were. President, as I believe that no one in never has history been worse. More publicity than I could, the worst publicity I receive is 98% of my best stuff. I could do without you and a couple of it's like you're extremely good buddies. The most bizarre thing, but you know one thing, Elon has shown me that people are intelligent. Yes, they do understand. In fact, they actually see what's going on. Trump claims to admire Elon because he proved to be correct on things that others disregarded or made fun of, particularly when it was crucial. I admire him, and I've always held him in high regard. I had no idea that he was correct. Some things, and I'm typically he was good at this stuff, Starlink, I believe. He took actions that were extremely sophisticated and no one had any idea who I was. Can inform you that North Carolina had no contact and were exterminated. You are aware that those individuals had rivers between areas that have never seen water. Suddenly, a river appeared. And people were ferocious like rapids. They were unable to communicate everywhere, and, do you know Elon Musk? They asked. I said, not really knowing that I knew him. Yeah. Could you get Starlink? As if for the first time, I asked, have you heard of it? What's Starlink? A system of communication that's unbelievable. Yes, and when I called him, he said, he received the response, listen, they really need it, such as thousands of pieces of this communication, and it significantly reduced lives. He received it right away, and you have to wait a long time to acquire it. It took a while to obtain, but he did. Him right away, and I remarked, that's rather incredible. And I had no idea. We observed the rocket ships, and he had it. And I believe you are aware that we monitor Tesla. One of the things that affected me was when I witnessed the return of the rocket ship and be seized as if you were grabbing a lovely little one, you reach for him, and he claimed you are aware that you cannot own a rocket software. If you intend to remove billions of dollars into the ocean each, you must preserve the time you spend flying, and he saved it for the first time in my life. That's finished, and no one else can accomplish it. If you consider China, Russia, or the United States, they are incapable of doing it and will not be able to continue doing it for a long time. This is the I wanted you to learn about technology. Someone intelligent enough to collaborate with me in terms of the nation is a crucial aspect because, well, he doesn't discuss in actuality, he is an excellent businessman. Additionally, when he discusses the executive orders, and this most likely applies to all executive orders are written by presidents. And you send it out, believing it to be finished. It is not completed. It is not completed. Executed. They don't carry it out. They are from the most recent management, and they are in some. You strive to get them out as quickly as possible. I could as soon as he did, but as you can claim that I told you, that's fascinating. You write a lovely, you sign it, executive, and you believe it will be completed, but it's instead, he accepts it and uses it with among his 100 geniuses. He has some extremely. He employs bright young folks. Trump hailed Elon as a leader with vision. An accomplished businessman who constructed revolutionary businesses and someone who genuinely recognizes the direction of the future, whether it's electric vehicles, launchers, or platforms for free speech. He truly is a leader who completes tasks. There are a lot of techies, and you having individuals that are proficient in technology, but he completes it. As I mentioned, and you have men in real estate who would attract stunning depictions of a structure and the rendering would be drawn by them. Wonderful, and you respond, wonderful, when are you beginning? Although they were never successful in obtaining, they were unable to get the financings, they were unable to obtain the authorizations, it would never be completed, and additionally, there are additional men who can finish it. You know, they may simply get I was in real estate when it was finished. He completes this, so when he said, you know, when you sign, he continued. Many of these executive orders failed to complete, and maybe the most crucial ones, and he would accept that I had signed an executive order, and he would send those individuals to whatever. So, when are you going to do it? Get it finished, and there's a person that perhaps they didn't want to do it all at once. He's signing all of a sudden because he doesn't want it to be disturbed. I filed a lawsuit a long time ago. He possessed it, and they actually did. You know, I had a number on me, so I sued and they were forced to pay $10 million. Settlement. You don't mind that I left it, do you? To the attorneys, and you are aware of the group in charge of Twitter, so I said, you all act in accordance with your moral convictions. It makes sense. I find it amusing. Believe it's quite low, and I was hoping to earn a lot more than that, so you offered him a break when the lawsuit he got it this well, he received a significant discount. I doubt that he is even aware of it. Join your ranks if you read and think that the media has made him one of your closest friend is working for nothing. For you, the reason I adore the president is like to clarify that, yes, I mean the president has been quite unjust. Assaulted in the press. It's really ridiculous, and at this point, a lot of time was spent with the president. Because I have never saw him do something that was nasty, mean, or incorrect. He informed me that unless you have paper ballots are never an honest way to vote. Election. That is a significant declaration. Elon is fantastic. What a wonderful man. I believe you're an Elon fan, dude. He's from another world. He's the best guy in America. Was extremely affluent in 1887. That a Blue Ribbon Commission was established on tariffs to determine how best to handle the extra cash. We received a commission. I believe the meeting took place in 1887. Consider this issue. We were so wealthy that had so much money that we were unsure of what to do. Thus, they positioned a Blue Ribbon Tariff Commission, and the only what to do with all the money is the purpose. We were extremely wealthy because we were charging others for entering, and China is stealing our jobs, and that's China's actions. If you wish to open a factory and make automobiles, if you construct a factory or own one, but they don't, they refuse to take our autos, our vehicles, but if you construct a facility, and Elon done it, and you can do the same in China. Elon is fantastic. That man is really fantastic guy. I believe you're an Elon fan. He's the alien from another world. Trump, the greatest man, remembers a day when he required Starlink's assistance during he called Elon Musk at a crucial moment, who reacted quickly, offering the required assistance. Can you get him? We need him, they pleaded. And I call Elon, who got it for Starlink. He saved so many lives so quickly. There are factors outside of environmental factors that prevent people from wishing to frack and drill for oil and engage in such activities outside of the environmental issues that are obviously authentic. But are there any other factors that can overemphasize or overstate these environmental issues? Impacts are individuals being impacted in a manner in which they are attempting to prevent us from producing oil in the United States. Environment is the most important instrument for halting growth. The most important instrument. Elon Musk said that regulation is the other. Annoyance with the expanding rocket laws and environmental limitations, indicating that this space is advancing due to restrictions. Exploring becoming more challenging. And speaking with Elon, he stated the rules to launch a rocket up to anywhere, even if you put forth all the effort, it's almost becoming into unfeasible, yet they utilize environmental to persuade individuals to refrain from acting. Additionally, I occasionally say, I am aware of some of the environmental better because I had to construct structures in New York that I had to construct. Environmental impact studies were required. Additionally, I would see some of these men who I would pay a lot of money to employ, environmentalists who would be sympathetic to you via the procedure, and they would be up in the capital of New York is Albany. And they are attempting to make it up there more difficult for men like myself who were builders, since they would receive higher compensation. Money. To put it another way, I had one guy, strongly suggested everything you knew. I was adept at obtaining licenses, I was among the king, I was always excellent, but the environmental issues were always terrible. They might cause a project to be delayed by 10 years. I worked on a project in Louisiana for 15 years. Constructed a large LG plant that was, for 14 years would have cost $18 million. Billion among the largest, such as the Empire State Building is resting atop it. On the coast, side times 4 huge, sir, they said, referring to the Gulf Coast. I said, they're going to give it up. That they ought to keep it. What's the issue is that they are unable to receive their environmental. They possessed environmental permits that would take up the entire space. Upwards, and they stated that there was a single error on a single line. Want him to repeat the entire process. Declared not to occur, and I obtained them. Their authorization immediately, and they constructed the factory. Huge Trump applauded Elon Musk's call. He is a very intelligent man with remarkable abilities, especially in the field of computers and technology. He recognized Musk's intelligence and emphasized his entrepreneurial accomplishments. The second is the if someone manages to get into the voting machines in the event that voting is hacked. Elon, those are two enormous machines. I believe Elon Musk stated it. I sincerely hope he did, as I'm not interested in being the one. Yet he's an incredibly intelligent man and a great, you would say that he's a computer-savvy guy. He's among the most intelligent persons on the planet. Anyone who can get that narrative in their 20s constructing, perfecting, and booming while he's used Starlink as he's working on owns Twitter, after which he consents to he tweets 100 times a day on Starlink. He told me that he's a wonderful man. In the absence of paper ballots, it's a huge election that will never be honest. Remark, I said, that rocket is coming in. I've heard the story at least twice. You might have heard it because of his. The talks have been excellent. Have you seen the yes, there were 29,000 people there last night. Was followed by the one the previous evening, which was we are rocking and doing the same thing. Rolling, but I'm speaking with this Elon. Wait a minute, I remarked to the highly important guy. I'm observing something that the TV is unmuted, and I can see the heat has turned this rocket completely brown. You are aware that 10,000 degrees is raining down. Reaching speeds of thousands of kilometers per hour. Along with you see, this object is similar to it catches in a 20-story building, and I tell him that he is a significant person. Give me a moment to put you down. Wait a minute, I have to see this. And I predict that it will crash. Likely to collide with the gantry, which they term. I replied, oh man, that's going to be a gantry, to be a catastrophe since it's beginning to come extremely close. Then suddenly, the bottom and flames are visible. And suddenly it explodes, revealing the two crazy arms grasp it, and I forgot who it was. I forgot I had him on the phone. Was that you? I asked Elon over the phone. Declared, that was me. I responded, who else can accomplish that? Nobody. Russia, he responded. No one in the United States is able to. Elon encourages Trump, do it. The creation of the Space Force was a momentous action. It's the first new 82 years ago, a military branch was established. Ever since the Air Force was established, you know that I was the one who established Space Force. And for the first time in 82 years, that we established a second location because of the Air Force, and that will be among our top priorities. But consider Elon's actions, and he completed another something I've never heard of, and it's I traveled to North Carolina, Starlink. Georgia, the several locations, correct? Went all the way down, and they had no correspondence. All of the poles were knocked. Take out all the men in the north. Could you do me a favor? Asked Carolina. Are you acquainted with Elon Musk? He did recommend, by the way, he handed me the most beautiful support for this as well. He remarked, the tougher, the nation will fail, so you should. Joe, you can't do the same thing. You're not a voter, so you're voting for Kamala. I know you, Kamala, and I would like to congratulate and appreciate a man named Elon Musk since he took a significant favor. Were you aware of my early arrival down here? We're with the people, and on I was down. And they said, oh, sir, we need. I responded, Starlink. What the devil is Starlink? You know who Elon is? He said. Musk? It's the most amazing thing. Because, particularly in North Carolina, they didn't communicate at all. There they were, right there. Simply destroyed, and they lacked communication, and it's difficult to obtain. Since it's difficult to obtain, I called Elon and he supported me and provided me with the best endorsement. And what about that rocket? The manner in which it arrived yesterday was that insane? Was it insane? As you are aware, I spoke with the TV is turned on for me and someone else. Noise or anything else, and I'm observing the screen, but I'm conversing with someone that I doubt it could have been that fascinating individual, but I'm observing this large monster on the screen. The structure is around 20 stories high, and the fire is pouring out and it's falling down. Of things from every perspective, and I claim that I would like you to wait a minute. Something is going on tell. Brandon, I've never seen anything like this. Trump was clearly in awe as he observed, surprised by Elon's rocket launch, the magnitude, accuracy, and potency of what private innovation had succeeded in, but I claim to have never seen something such. Consequently, that is coming down, and oh man, it's going to be awful, I said. It will strike the gantry or something. They call it's going to hit. To topple a Marjorie Taylor grid instead. Since it will topple it's approaching, and the angle didn't appeal to me. Come on baby, I replied, and then suddenly, you notice that the fire is gushing from it straightens on the right side, and I said, that was amazing. I don't remember the man. That person on the phone was you. We're aware that they are respected. We're guiding everyone to stay on course. You know, they would have hung on forever. They would have waited for an answer for Doug. But I simply forgot everything because this is unlike anything I've ever seen. I asked Elon if he could do me a favor. Yes, Starlink. What do you enjoy about it? I mentioned that they require hundreds of them in Georgia and North Carolina. They truly desire them in Georgia as well since their lines went down, and I'm conversing with him, and as I speak, I get someone in North Carolina called. I said, thank you for the Starlink. How on earth did you do that? No, it is accurate. Eli is distinct. No, he's distinct, and he uttered, Elon, I'm not sure the nature of Starlink, but they enjoy it. Like it. However, he was, and it was kind of amusing since I'm speaking on the phone and everything is finished, and I'll tell you. When it arrived, it was delayed. When it arrived, there were negative aspects. Occurred, as you are aware, with many individuals, but in the end, I understood, and I said, how does it compare to the lines? They claimed it was better.